that's not what I'm gonna do because that makes way too much sense. So instead, this week I am going to try and focus on finishing the books that I am currently reading, which I think I only have one, two, three, four. I think I'm only reading 4 books right now. So I want to finish Revenant Gun. I want to finish Royal Assassin, because that's the Robin Hobb book that I am currently reading, and I'm like 60% of the way done with both of those. Maybe I will pick Kingdom of Copper back up. Maybe I won't. I don't know how I'm feeling about that book right now. And the other one that I'm reading at the moment is Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay. So I think I literally just started this like right before I took my dog for a walk, so it barely counts. It's not even on Goodreads yet because I don't add it to Goodreads until I am 10% of the way through a book. Because 10% is like my DNF threshold, but there is no world in which I DNF Roxane Gay. It's just not a thing, so I should go ahead and add that. And then next week, my husband is actually going to be out of town for a business trip. So that means that I am going to have a lot of time for reading, especially because our original plan had been to go and spend time with his family. So I already have half of that week taken off as vacation time. So I feel like I'm going to be able to get a lot of reading done, and I'm really excited about it. So I want you guys to help me decide what I should read while he is gone. So I have a short stack of nonfiction options and a short stack of fiction options. We're going to start with nonfiction, literally just because it is closer to me. So this is actually like the entirety of my physical nonfiction TBR. See, the one that I've had the longest is The Faraway Nearby by Rebecca Solnit, and this was given to me as a gift by my friend Hayun. And I just somehow never got around to it. It's a collection of essays, and I feel like this could be a good one to pick up just because it's been on my physical TBR the longest. And I do try not to let myself get distracted by the newest and shiniest, but I often fail at that. So maybe. And then We Do This Till We Free Us by Mariame Kaba. I don't actually know how to pronounce her name, I just realized that. So this is Abolitionist Organizing and Transforming Justice. And this was a feminist book club pick from last year that I just never got around to reading. In that same vein, I have Abolition Feminism Now by Angela Davis, among other authors. And this is just a book that I think I don't know if enjoy is really the right word for books like this, but I think I'm going to get a lot out of it, and I am excited to read it. And then we have Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi. I thought that his book, How to Be Anti-Racist, was brilliant, so I'm really excited to read more from him. I got this one at a pretty steep discount from Powell's because, as you can see, the cover is bent in several places. That's why it's catching the light so weird. But this one's chunky. So it could be are so pretty. And Seanan McGuire, Discount Armageddon. This is the first book in the Encrypted series. And this, honestly, I bought because the cover made me laugh. It's so cheesy. It looks ridiculous, and the whole premise of this series sounds delightfully silly. Like this is not a book that I'm expecting, great points about society from. This is one that I think is just going to make me giggle. So, that's my light and fluffy options. And then my fifth option here is David Mogo God Hunter by Sui Davies Okungboa. Okungboa. I have got to start practicing authors' names before I sit down to film. Like, why have I not learned to do that yet? So this is a Nigerian author. This book takes place in Lagos. The gods have fallen to earth in their thousands and chaos reigns. Though broken and leaderless, the city endures. David Mogo, demigod and god hunter, has one task: capture two of the most powerful gods in the city and deliver them to the wizard gangster Lukman Nashala. No problem, right? So, I am very excited to read this book. It's been on my TBR for a long time. It's one of the oldest ones on my Goodreads TBR because I heard about it on NPR, and again, my library didn't have it. So, I thought the cover was really pretty. I think the story sounds super fun, and I'm kind of excited to read it. So those are my 5 fiction options. Should I go for read the books that teacher said I should? Because I feel bad that I haven't read them yet. I should definitely read them. Or should I say, screw it, I'm on vacation. I'm going with vacation brain books. Or just my completely random. Help me decide. What should I read? Tell me in the comments, what would you pick if you had a solid week of really good reading time coming up? Would you go nonfiction? Would you go fiction? Would you do a mixture of both? Help me pick what to read on my vacation. Let me know in the comments which books you want me to read. And then, we'll see them probably in my August reading room. Alright, short video today, but that's really all I've got. So, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe